Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. So I'm back here tracking drums today, or at least I'm going to attempt to. And I've got these little earplugs I'm putting in because this riff is harsh. It's like real bitey, and it's just wearing my ears out. So I'm wearing earplugs. These are erasers, I think is how you say it, or ear erase. I don't know, but they're really good. They're good. No affiliation. I don't have any affiliation with anyone like commercial. I just bought these looking for good earplugs when I was doing shows, and these are really good. They don't cut everything out, you know, like you can still hear, but it definitely makes a difference because this was killing my ears. I put these on underneath the headphones. Everything's fine now. I'm tracking okay. So anyway, if you haven't ever seen me do this before, I use 4 microphones. It's based on the recorder man Glenn Johns method. Glenn Johns recorded like pretty much everybody in the 70s. It's like a big rock band, including Led Zeppelin. And the drums thing is famous because obviously John Bonham played the drums on it, and it sounded fantastic. And this miking method is really simple. It's only 4 mics. So the recorder, and I actually need to check this really quickly because I had to move this mic to walk back here. So the way you set it up, got 2 overhead mics. This one's over here. It's officially an overhead. It's kind of low. You can't see it. It's behind the toms. But it's kind of overhead the bass drum and this ride cymbal that I kind of crash on the whole time. So I'm measuring 2 drumsticks. I've got these Steve Gadd drumsticks. I just broke out a new pair, which always feels good. And they're just barely, like, you know, they're just a millimeter or so underneath the front capsule. So now I'm going to move without moving from the snare drum. Same thing over here. I got the same kind of distance going, which is good. Just make sure one more time, because if you get this wrong, you're out of phase. And out of phase is no good. Wait, let me just check one more time there. And in there. Okay, this needs to go back that way just a tiny bit. Just really makes me nervous. I had a lot of phase issues when I first started recording with guitar. Okay, so I think we're okay. I think we're about the same distance. Now, that's those 2 microphones. And those go into number 2. This one's into number 2 channel strip. This is number 3 channel strip. Number 1 channel strip is this AKG P220. It's a large diaphragm condenser, and it has a negative 20 dB cut on it, which I've enabled, you know, because it's just too loud otherwise. It's going into a Rane MS1B that I've got turned down pretty low. It's like at 9 o'clock or something, not high at all. And phantom power is engaged because I don't think the phantom power on the Zoom is very good. And that's going into channel 1, and I've got that channel turned down quite a bit, and just a touch of the gain from the channel strip. On number 2, I've got the gain at like, I don't know, 2 o'clock. Same thing on the channel strip 3, that's this mic. And then finally, out front, we've got a bass drum mic that's about a drumstick from the front of a closed bass drum head. I got felt strips on each side just to sort of take some of that boom out, you know. I really like the way this sounds. This is the John Bonham setup. I've got it tuned that way as well. And it works. It sounds, not my drumming, but the sound of the drums sounds like that. So that's good. Now over here on effects, like I said, I have 4 channels engaged, and I only do 4 channels, and I double this. I take all the drums and double each one and bring it back in, and so I have 8 tracks of drums, 2 snares, 2 of this, 2 of that, and 2 of that. And they're exactly the same. I don't play it twice. I just double it up just to give it more power, because like I said, the Zoom is a little wimpy sometimes. You got to beef it up. Alright, so as far as effects go, the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 songs I've recorded, I did not use any effects on the drums, and I'm just kind of missing the punch on the snare. I was having to crank the snare up a lot more. So this time I'm compressing it with Big Shape, and I went into the edit mode on Big Shape, and that's in dual mic. It's number 26. And I went to the mic pre, and I took the tone down just a tiny bit. I think it was at 10. No, I think I'd left the tone the same. The level, I think the level was like 69, 70, something, you know, pretty high, and the top, you know, headed towards the top third, and I took it all the way down to 42. So it's there. It's just not so hard to manage, you know, because I don't even hit the drums hard at all, and so it shouldn't be a problem. But you know, it's peaking like crazy and blah blah blah. Also, this microphone is 3 inches from the edge of the snare lip. This one is. This 2 drumsticks worth, equidistant. That one a drumstick worth. And I would assume you have a tiny range here where you wouldn't screw up because you're trying to get the same distance between the bass drum and the snare on both of these. It's a little bit of geometry. Okay, so I've got the track playing in my head. The scratch track, or not the scratch track, I actually recorded guitars for this. And I wanted to bring up something that's happened that's kind of cool. Friends of the channel reach out every once in a while, usually asking, you know, technical questions. But pretty much for a long time since I've been recording, my friend of the channel, Paul Knowles, or friend of the channel, Paul Knowles, has been offering advice and just not advice, like encouragement, you know, which I really appreciate. He's one of the main people that I really kind of rely on to make sure I'm on the right track with stuff. And so he reached out and said, hey, I do this drumming thing where I play on people's tracks, and he's in Japan, which I thought was really cool. I looked up his website, you know, where he offers his services and has his rates and all that kind of stuff. It has live performances with some of the bands he's played with in Japan, which I thought was really impressive and cool. It's exactly the kind of cool drumming that I like, and very, very nice person from what I can tell, and just really honest, straightforward person. Very encouraging to others, which I think is, you know, so important these days. We gotta not compete but help each other. So anyway, at some point we're gonna collaborate. I'm gonna send him something. Got to figure out a song to put together for that, and he's gonna drum on it. We're gonna, you know, just do this cool collaboration, which I think is really a fun thing about having this channel. Is people reach out and you can do cool things like that. But I wanted to mainly recommend him to anyone else. Like if you want to have real drums, or you're working with the rhythm tracks on the Zoom, and I've never done that, so I don't know what that's really like. My actual Zoom was missing the rhythm tracks disc or whatever, but I knew I was going to be recording my own drums, so I wasn't really concerned about that. But if you want real drums and you don't have a drum kit, you don't play drums, all of this just seems like a pain, and you want, you know, just really good drum tracks, I would highly recommend him, just based on the drumming that I've heard, my interaction with him as a person, which has been excellent, and you know, the site's really cool. So I would highly recommend Paul Knowles for any kind of, like, you know, drumming. I just think that would be awesome. Like, and you get it done in Japan, which is an extra little twist to your story. You know, you can, when you're doing the press for your record or whatever, you say the drummer was in Japan, I was far flung, you know, over in this direction, he was far flung in that direction. Those kind of cool little stories make good press. But anyway, I thought Paul's a really amazing dude, amazing drummer. I'm sure it would be a great experience. So I highly recommend him and his drumming services. So I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to put this little ear plug in on this side. These have little pulls on them so you can get them back out again. You would like to remove them in theory. Okay. And then I just headphone over this. Should be okay. Then got to get the headphone cable in a comfortable spot. This drum part is not complicated or anything. I think the timing of trying to play with the guitars has taken me a long time. And I originally had more to it, so don't judge me for such a simple part. I had like toms that I was adding in and stuff like that, but every time I hit a tom, it just felt like it was taking away the power. It's like a straightforward power thing, and it's not a lot of drumming. It's like a lot of rest, which is unusual. And I couldn't think of anything else to do, but I like doing this because it's, you know, it's part of the challenge of the song. You know, it's just coming up with something, especially when you're not officially a drummer. All right, so you'll see what I'm up against. All right, a lot of cymbals, and it's in 6/8, I believe. All right, here we go. Record play. got off right there. I was thinking of Ryan tonight, and when he was playing live with us, he kept breaking these cymbals. I'd go buy one at a pawn shop or order one off eBay or whatever. I was getting these Peisty 502s, which are really good. They're like a student cymbal, but they sound good. And he ended up finding this one in a pawn shop for $50. It's the bronze 502 Peisty. Sounds amazing. I really appreciate it. I always think about him when I'm bashing on it. Okay, here we go. I forgot that I always want to make sure to include the hi-hats in my stomp. Just felt stiff, like I was doing something wrong. I can't even describe it. I don't know what was wrong, but no biggie. Here we go. Just trying to loosen up. Got off a tiny bit. I knew that was going to change everything. No, it didn't change it. Sorry, I'm just double checking this, and I had to move the snare because the little stand, the foot pedal, the stand was connecting with my foot. Now this feels off again. That's good. Undo button, record play. I'm going to lift this up a tiny bit just because it feels like I'm bonking it at the wrong angle. I think that's better. Chord play. Okay, I stopped it at 350, which was a long spillover and letting the cymbals do their thing. Okay, originally on that chorus part, I had it where I was going fast, then slow. I mean, not fast and slow. Doing a full da 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 da, then da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. But that time I switched it up a couple times, so I think I'm gonna just do it again. But I don't have to undo that take. I can just leave it there. But I think I can better it. And the way you leave it there is just don't undo it. Just go back, start over. And if that take is not as good as the previous one, just undo that take. The previous one will still be sitting there. That's what I'm going to do here. Okay, record play. felt a little off. Did it again. Ah, shoot. Train. Let me turn it off. Okay, so I've erased a couple of takes just because last time I made a long video I didn't have enough hard drive space and it created an annoyance, so I don't want to go over time with my video. Plus, how much of this could anyone take in the first place? Boom. Yes, perfect equidistance. Alright, here we go. Let's get this. All right. I let it go to like 354. Just to let the cymbals decay. Woo! Man, that shouldn't have been that hard. I bet Paul Knowles could have done that in one take. Ooh. Alright, so what I'm going to do is get the, I'm going to pick up all the shots I need to get of the microphones and the zoom, just so there's a couple of new people that have been coming on lately asking technical questions, and I'm hoping that they use Paul. I hope everybody uses Paul that doesn't, want to play drums themselves. Alright, so anybody who watched any of this or hung with any of it, I really appreciate it. You guys and girls or whoever, everyone, whatever, whatever their classifications are. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. God, I think this song's going to be cool. Like I'm listening to the guitar and these drums, and they're not, I don't even know if the song is good or not. I'm just excited thinking about this music, that I'm making music like this, that I used to be so basic, and it's just cool to branch out. Alright, hopefully everyone's doing okay with their projects, with their drums, with their guitars, with their songs, with their technical issues. It's all one long journey of fun. Next time.